Time for another episode of Robots Pilot Academy. I don't know, what should I call it after that? Something. You figure it out. So, I didn't really cover the basic robots in the last video. Or did I? No, I tried to. I tried to do a video covering the basic robots, but it didn't work out. So, I'm going to do that real quick right now. The Mantis I've already talked a lot about. It's a great robot. Fully recommend upgrading all the modules, putting a drone on it, and making it your first robot that's a badass. From there, you could probably pick up where's that? Predator, if you want to spend the gold. It's definitely worth it. It's a great robot. But the Watcher is also, the Predator is a weird one because you can't build this robot. The only way you can get this robot is either to take up one of the initial offers, which I'll talk about here in a second because I haven't talked about that yet and I need to. You can buy this for gold, and it's a pretty decent price for it. All to add the drones, another $550, and for all the purple modules, it's $550. So for, I don't know, $4,000 or so, you could probably have this thing maxed out, and it's a badass little robot when it's maxed out. But here's the thing. This is really only good for level 1 and level 2 play. Once you hit level 3, this thing's going to be worthless because it just doesn't pack enough punch and it doesn't take enough damage. So this isn't an in-game robot. None of these initial robots that you get for free are in-game robots. In-game robots start, I would say, gosh, anymore it's probably the very, very top ones. Let's go. They don't really have these in any kind of order anymore, but let me just quickly zip through. Watcher's worth building. Butcher is worthless. Bison's worth building. Patrol, maybe. It's a jumper. It's got a lot of firepower. Those two lower weapons really annoy me, and the fact that it doesn't have a drone is a plus and a minus. It's a plus in the sense that you don't got to pay for a drone. It's a minus in the sense you don't get those extra guns way up high that can shoot at stuff. Titan does have a drone. It's badass, but again, you're not going to get to the final stage of this game using that robot. It's not going to happen. These are where you kind of start at. I forget what they call these. There's a name for them, but they all came out about the same time, and this is where it ends. So when I came into the game, the Yamabushi was the top robot. It was the best you could do. Shortly after I came out, I don't know, within a year, I'm guessing, they came out with these robots. No, not that one. This one, this one, this one, this one, this one, this one, and this one all came out at the same time. And the Bastion was the top bot. But then they come out with these other three little bastards. That one there, which I don't even want to talk about that one. It's kind of like it's the flying invisible version of the, what's that big stupid name thing, the Samurai. It's like the flying version of that. It's just an annoying robot. If you use basically I think my attitude is if you're using this robot or that robot, you're relying too much on your equipment. Get better at the game, because these are the slowest, stupidest robots to use. Generally speaking, you're just putting yourself somewhere up high and sniping people. And most people don't, especially in level 1, don't know how to get rid of you. So I pop in there with something that does a lot of electric damage, and I find you, and I point my little cursor at you from behind a rock, and I shoot at you until you go boom or move. If I see those on the map, I hunt them because I despise them. They're hard to hunt because they stand behind a building until they pop up in the air. When they pop up in the air, you can't even aim at them because they're invisible, and you can't point your aimer way up high. For some reason, you can point your aimer all the way straight down, but you can't point your aimer all the way straight up. So at some point, targets can be too high for you. All right, I dealt with that. Let's go back to the free bots. Some of mine are mixed in here. I built the Bison. I built the Watcher, in fact. I built weapons. I started out with a Phantom, built 2 of them in the workshop. Those are the first 2 things to build. I think that unlocks the Hummer. Build those. You get 2 of them. Build 2 Ghosts. You get 2 of those. When you run out of parts on those, you can't build anymore. That's one of the confusing things about the workshop. For some of these things, they give you so many parts. For the robots, you can just keep building them. You can build 20 Yamabushis if you can't use that many, but you could build them if you wanted to, because I don't think there's a limit anymore. Anyway, I built the torch, and I think I was just building the torch just to get to the Ronin. Once I got the torch about halfway built and the Ronin popped up, I went ahead and started building the Ronin. The Ronin, I believe, got me to the Yamabushi. I was about halfway through building the Ronin when the Yamabushi was available. And so I finished out the Ronin, and then I built the Yamabushi. For most new players who want to have an easier time doing damage and not dying, between the Ronin and the Hoplite, I would take the Hoplite. It's a slower robot, it moves around, it's got a fast walk. The shield is awesome, and you can put it into two different positions. In the front position, you'll walk slower. Speeding up allows you to walk a little faster, but with that shield in the front position, you're kind of screwed with movement. With it in the side position, you can walk really fast when you speed that bot up. So, I would say it's a good robot. If you want more of a challenge and you like being sneaky, get yourself the Ronin. There it is. Get this robot. Put some torches on it or some shotguns or something along those lines. Get the drone. It's pretty powerful with that drone, and you can just kind of sneak around the... You get 3 dashes. I forget how long it takes each dash, like 3 or 9 seconds for each dash to refresh. The Bushi's got better dashing. It's got 4, and technically speaking, in the amount of time it takes to dash 4 times, you've refreshed one of them. So, technically speaking, in the Bushi, you can dash 5 times if you're completely fresh. In this, you can only dash 3 times, and your invisibility only lasts so long. Whereas with the Bushi, every time you dash, you go invisible. If you push the button to go invisible in the Yamabushi, you can't move and you can't shoot. You're basically a sitting duck, invisible. Anyway, I talked too much about those stupid robots. Let's get back to the whole point of this, which was the basics. So we got the Paladin here. That's the last one you get. It's actually a pretty good bot. Hunter, fast walker. Newbies like it because they like those long-range missiles. Those things are worthless. If you're shooting long-range missiles, move away from that because you're not going to keep using them. They can't hit a damn thing. By the time they get to where... The only thing you can shoot with those is a stationary target. And it takes them so long to get there, and it's so slow to fire, and it's so slow to reload, and they hardly do any damage. They're the most worthless weapon in this game, in my opinion. And generally speaking, I ignore people that are slinging those. I used to hunt them down because they annoyed me, but anymore I just completely ignore them, and I leave them for last. And then I just walk in on them because they can't shoot me, because as long as you stay moving, these missiles aren't going to hit you. It's the other standard rule of this game is keep moving. Unless you know you can just stand in one place, try and keep moving, because a lot of things won't hit you if you're moving. They will hit you if you're not. And I usually blindside people with my Bison because they ain't moving. And if they were moving, they'd take half as much damage from me. Viking, I already talked about that. Behemoth. You're not going to get to the end of the game with any of these robots. It's not worth building any of them. If you want to, play around with them. Don't upgrade them. Don't give them any modules. Don't buy their drone. They're not that great. You can build in, I think, maybe 2 or 3 weeks of playing this game. If you do the workshop stuff just right, you can build a Ronin in about 3 weeks, month max, if you don't play much. This is a good one. You get this one right here. This is definitely one that's worth upgrading. It'll get you probably into maybe through level 2 play. The question you have to ask yourself in this game is, do you want to play it to the top, and do you want to have 10 pilots and max these things out and triple max them with the ones that you can upgrade the rank on? To me, that's a lot of grinding. It's going to take you years or thousands of dollars to get there. So my attitude is stay at the bottom. Play level 1 robots. If your robots are level 1, you have to play defensively. You have to try not to take damage, and that's what I'm here to teach you. Don't take damage, do it. So this is a pretty good robot. It's got decent firepower. The 2 low weapons, they kind of suck because up top you can still shoot with as much firepower as a Mantis has. I wouldn't say it's worth a lot of investment. The modules on it, $550. So basically it's an equivalent to the Predator, that fancy looking red thing you got to buy for gold. It would be equivalent to that, but it's got more firepower. That one's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This one's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The big weapon counts as 2 small ones. So it's got basically 1 more weapon than a Predator, 1 more small weapon. Placement's about the same as a Predator, so it's just a bigger Predator, we'll call it that. Tiger's kind of a fun one to play. That big shotgun up top can shoot over darn near anything. The bottom ones are nice the way they are because I think they're 500 meter. I don't really know. I don't really care. But those missiles, if you've got a fairly stationary target, you're behind something shooting the shotgun at them, and I believe this one dashes. You can dash out, fire all those missiles at them, and dash back behind cover. So that's useful. In the early stages of the game, it's useful. And the thing I was saying about level 1 play is you can play with all these robots at level 1. Just build up your weapons. For some reason, my Bison at level 1 with level 5 or 6, level 6 or 7 weapons, I don't know, I upgraded it to a point where it put me in level 2 with just a Bison with high-level weapons on it. I don't know what that was all about, but I gauge everything by my Bison right now, and the Bison is my most powerful robot with level 1 Bison, level 5 Wasp Hornet, and a drone with some modules. I don't know how modules affect robot power. I honestly have no idea. I'm sure somebody's done the math on it, but they don't show you anywhere what a robot's individual power is. It's very difficult to gauge. You have to know some serious weird math, and I don't. So, Spirit, Fast Walker, don't like it. It's worthless, but play with it if you want. These are just a lesser version of the Tiger and the Spirit, basically. One fewer weapon. Anything below that, these are all worthless. The only robot at the bottom that's worth putting any effort into, I think, is this one, and that's just because the effort is so cheap. Top modules cost 100 gold. I think that's what it ends up being. Energy drone. I don't remember. Yeah, let's look at this one. Yeah, so max ramrod's 100. I don't want to play with that guy right now. Sorry, buddy, I'm doing a video. Anyway, was I talking? I think we're done. That's pretty much it. I probably should have just accepted that and played the match. But he's in level 2, and I don't really feel like starting there, and I'm not sure how he ended up there, so I don't want to start in level 2. We're going to do this at level 1 match. It almost seems like all my videos so far have been level 2 matches, or level 3 matches, or something crazy like that. So let's pop in here and see how much damage I can do with a little robot. Sometimes in the level 1, you find people who have come down from higher levels by putting lower level, basically they'll change the power of an individual robot by adjusting the weapon levels. So they'll put low level weapons on higher level bots, and if they can do it, they'll just come back down to this level. They go up to level 2 and they're still kicking butt. So I don't know why they're down at level 1 dropping in uber premium top bots, just smoking people. There's no challenge to that. It's the part I don't get. I don't know why it's taking so long. I'm doing videos, for some reason this takes twice as long. Don't make no sense. Nothing makes any sense. There we go. Don't upgrade your robot. It's telling you here to upgrade your robot. I say don't do that. It will make it more effective in the sense that it can take more damage, but if you keep from taking damage, you don't need to upgrade it. Alright, let's see if we can keep from taking some damage here. I like taking this bot down. And I love this map because it's real easy to grab the center flag, because on either side, so on this side we got a building, on that side we got a building. We're very well protected in this center spot. Everybody's dropping in, nobody's quite there yet. I'm going to target that guy right there. And as soon as I've got it, I'm going to jump and unload. Notice where I jumped? Look at that. From one to the other, and usually I'll take that target out. But I'm behind cover again, and I just took my second flag. I've taken both my flags. I'm not going to take any more to get my max gold for taking top damage, if I do that. And I'm taking way too much damage right now. When I say take top damage, I mean deal top damage. So didn't know what I was talking about there. Also, the other thing you can do is you can throw yourself together a paladin that can do a lot of damage with just 3 weapons. Putting the 400-meter Gatlings on that thing makes it a really impressive shredder type. It just melts things. Wow, how'd we do that? It's just raining reds. I don't remember what I was talking about. Too much excitement. Just waiting for them all to drop. I don't remember where I was going with that whole thought. I'll remember when I watch it back and say, oops. What's that? I gotta do a whole nother video. Alright, so I'm just kind of looking for... Usually I'm looking for targets with shields. One of these days I'm going to do a human. There's one. Yeah, just check it out. They're all... I like them when they get all bunched up too. Watch this. See, they're so close together, I might blow them both up. Sometimes I'm firing at one robot and the robot right next to it blows up, and I know that the damage I did it was what blew it up. You also notice that I tend to keep the red things behind stuff. That's how you stay behind cover. If those red little triangles are behind something, they can't shoot at you. Of course, you can't shoot at them, but you're going to see how this works. All right, these two are pretty close together. I'm going to shoot at the one with the most health because I should be able to take them out with 10. I didn't lose both of them, but you see that? Well, the other guy was shooting at me too, but I was doing damage to it more than likely with these weapons because they do an area damage. So when you're shooting at something with a shield, it'll actually damage the shield and it'll damage the robot itself because it's doing an area damage. So don't stand in the same place too long fighting these bisons, man. So this guy's got a name. Sometimes I kind of try and leave the human players alone. Human players should be the only ones sporting shields. So butchers have shields, so that doesn't count. But if you're looking at a mantis or anything that doesn't naturally come with a shield, and it's sporting a shield, chances are that's a human player. We'll just go through the human things right now. If somebody's shooting at you and your center mass is behind cover, it's a human player because an AI won't do that. In fact, you'll notice an AI driving a bison, the only weapons that'll shoot at you are the ones that can target you. So it's one of the ways you can tell that somebody's in a bison is an AI because one of the weapons will shoot at you and the rest won't. You can't do that as a human player. It's physically impossible. I can't shoot any of those weapons individually. I'm going to go and throw down another one because I'm having fun talking. How long is this so far? 16 minutes. Needs to be at least a half an hour for you people to enjoy it, right? Throw me a thumbs up if you got this far. Alright, what did we get for stats here? Oh, see, not one human in the bunch there. So some other things you can do to tell. I'm not going to worry about this right now. Some other things you can do to tell if it's a human. When they drop in. Anybody going at a severe angle on drop in, moving at a sideways angle rapidly, to an extreme, is probably headed for a flag, and it's probably a human. Most of the AI bots, they just drop down into the same location. In fact, if you can figure out where AI bots are dropping, you can line yourself up on their path because they all follow the same path. AI in this game is really dumb, and you can just put yourself in a good spot on that path and really just take them around. I'm not sure where it's at in this one. It's down in the center. I always try and grab this side flag, see who's back there, and if they grabbed one, see that guy dash? That's the other thing. AI doesn't use ability. So if a robot's walking fast or it's jumping or dashing, it's got to be a human, no doubt about it. Watch this. I'm going to take this guy out with 4 shots. 3 shots. He was already being shot at, so always got to worry about jumping into the line of fire there. But you notice how I didn't shoot all my shots at the one guy because I knew I'd be having to shoot at these guys. And this thing reloads so slowly. Do not shoot a shot if you don't have to. If your shot's going to run into something, don't shoot it. If the other robot's moving too fast to the side or jumping or dashing, wait till they land, wait till they're done, and then nail them. You'll see me do that here if I get around to it. Little mantis. Sorry, buddy. Don't play with the devil. That won't happen. So I'm standing right next to an AI bison, probably. How is he firing so many shots? How is he doing that? I didn't have that many shots. What the hell? But you notice how he stopped shooting, and you might have even noticed that he was shooting out of like one of his things only because that was the only one that could actually target the. You'll also notice that guy's sideways stepping are missiles. He's walking so fast to the side that by the time the missile gets there, it's exploding, but he's not close enough for it to do any damage. So you got to be a little careful with these because of that. And that's why I don't recommend using the 500-meter ones. They just have to travel further, though. I should try them sometime just to see if they move faster because they might have a faster rate of speed. So I don't want that one. That's the one. I'm just going to go straight up and down. I'm going to go back into cover as quickly as possible. Notice how much damage I did, though? He was full health when I started that barrage. And if I upgraded all these weapons to level 6, not only might I be in level 2, but there's something else I wanted to try with this. I don't know if I can do it or not. I'm going to give it a shot. I I want to see if I can shoot. I'm not even playing right now. I'm just doing the test. I want to see if I can shoot a couple weapons and then pass them. Nope. I was curious if I jumped faster than my weapons fly, because it seems like I've shot weapons and then jumped and then flown past the weapon, the missiles I shot. But I don't know. See, it doesn't really matter if I engage in the rest of this game. I'm just going to see if those two can finish off the rest of my teammates. I got 4 flags. This is pretty much an assured win, so I'll let them get down to just them against me, and then we'll see what we can do. I'm going to go sit way up here on the top. I don't know how to do that. So I was talking about looking up. You can only look up like that. If I was on the ground, I wouldn't be able to shoot at somebody up here. Check this out. You can literally look all the way down. Look up, get yourself lined up, look down, jump, and then line up. Boom. You're setting yourself up to be shot at when you do that, but you got the best view up here. And as soon as one of them shoots at me, I get to pounce on him. So it's not me and him yet. So this might be human. Oh, the other thing about AI is they're always going to target the nearest robot. So if that robot's nearer to them than I am, that's what they're going to target. Now, if I shoot all these at both of them, I might hit them both and blow them both up. Oh, they're too far away. Yeah, might be humans. I'd say. I'll wait for them to get nice and close together. Oh, this guy's about toast. So I'm going to shoot at the guy that's got the most health. Yeah, these guys are ready. I don't know if I took them both out. I should have let them take him out first. And if I'd have thought they were human players, I probably would have. I'm pretty sure they were both AI. So AI doesn't use abilities. I don't know, that might have been human. Just me and him. Yeah. Let's see what he... Yeah, that's a human. Now, that's the other thing, too, damn it. Give yourself a stinking name. It's one of the things I wish this game forced, was giving yourself a name. Because it doesn't. People can keep this player name. In fact, I know one dude. He's one of those guys that likes to drop in a lung on a level 1 map. This guy's going to dash on me. Yep. See what I did there that was wrong, but you'll notice he's shooting the kind of weapons I've got. That's what I was waiting for right there. Now he can't dash anymore. And he should have been sideways walking against me because he might have avoided a lot of that damage, but because he didn't sideways walk. But he has 2 dashes, and if I'd have shot my load at him... Where is he? Oh, I thought that was my side. That's some kind of shit right there. What's he got this time? A fast walker. So he could theoretically out sideways walk these missiles. What I try and do then is I try and line my jump up so that I'm moving into the direction that they're walking to or away from. Yep, he sees me. So here we go. As soon as I started shooting at him, he should have started walking sideways. The moment I started shooting, he should have just literally went like that. And if he would have done that, not one of my missiles would have hit him. That's how you defend yourself against this robot. You just walk sideways. So, if you're watching, player, whatever your stupid name is because you didn't give yourself a name, that's why I wish this game would force people to give themselves names. I keep thinking I'm on their side, but I'm actually on my side. Oh, he wants to do it that way, does he? Now he's in a paladin. See, he got a second jump, but you'll notice I didn't blow him a whole wad on him. I'm going to wait for it to reload again completely, but then he might have another dash. Now, when I'm going up against these guys... Look at that. Oh, man, I almost did it. Oh, I did do it. See that? He's gone. He's gone. He took me out, though. Good job, buddy. Anyway, the point there is I sideways walked all those missiles he shot at me. And he didn't. And he couldn't, really, not in a paladin. He just can't do it. So, hope you learned something from this one. We're at 24 minutes. Do I make it 30? Sure, why not? You watch it or you don't. Doesn't matter to me, does it? So yeah, these little info things here indicate that that was a human player, and I wish they'd find some way of sticking that in the game so I could tell without... So you can add as a friend who you can invite to a squad from here. This guy... Yeah, Power 38, he just started. See, I feel sorry for these guys. I'm in here smoking them, and they just got started in this game. They need to find me quickly so that I can teach them how to play. I'm not going to do that yet. And we're going to do one more real quick while I talk some more, because you love listening to me talk. I hope I didn't cover up the microphone. I wish I knew where the hell it was. Last time I did a test and I tapped a spot here, and that was the video that didn't work. So let's see if that did anything or not. At some point I cover it with my hand, and I don't know what I'm doing, and you can't hear me talk, so. I got tired of typing things on the screen in the video editor, so heck with that. So here's another one, my tactic. I love grabbing the center flag. I like being on the other side a little bit better. As you get to know these maps better, you'll understand why. I can remember how baffled I used to be on these maps. So they're still sort of dropping in. If you can, this guy's too far away, but if I go this way, this is going to be dangerous, but I'm going to do it anyway. He's sideways walking that stuff pretty hard. Big dog. I don't like this dude's name. See, you got to dash right when I shoot these things. I'm pretty sure he had one available. Is he like ignoring me for a particular reason? Because I'm really doing horribly. Is it because I'm letting you guys watch me? I'm not even going to engage this guy. Somebody else is going to shoot him dead here in a second. Well, I guess I'll have to. Two. Well, two. Now I got a whole bunch for this guy, who should be sideways walking these missiles right now so that he doesn't die, which he's about to do. See what I'm saying with all that? Sideways walk. He had something better. Alright, you get to see a different robot. This one's fun. Oh, I'm going the wrong way again. Actually, you know what? Let's go this way. I'll pretend like I'm ignoring or avoiding him because he's a big badass. I'm going to follow this guy. The other thing I like to do is, even if they got stupid player names, I like to shoot at them. If they turn and look at you, probably a human. My rule is just shoot at everybody that you think's a human, and if somebody shoots at you and you're a human, shoot back, because that's what you should be doing, you know? Alright, so all those guys are down at that end. That's why I snuck over here, because usually it's AI hanging out over here. And they're easy to take out. Sideways walk all these bad boys. See how slow those missiles fly? Only one of those hit me. I'm pretty sure their shotguns were hitting me there, but I paid a price for that. Who else is in this match? I don't even know. Big dog. I'm gonna guess 92 is the year he was born. He's a young buck. He was born in 67. First video game I ever played was... Oh, look at that. He's shooting at me from way over there. I'll shoot at you from way over here. He's in a behemoth. I love fighting paladins in this thing, because paladins think you don't have enough firepower to do them any damage. You get close enough to this thing and do some serious damage. So I'm also trying to jump from cover to cover. I knew there was some cover back here, and I was actually aiming for it, because when I came down, I wanted to be behind. See how he's still shooting at me? No, I'm shooting at him. Never mind. So this is what I love about this robot. You can just get it just right above. This one over here is the close range one. I put the longer range stuff up top. So he's probably going to come back down on this side, and I need to capture some flags pretty freaking soon, because we're going to lose on flags if I don't. Where's my team grabbing flags? So, flag grabbing is my top priority at this point. Some people might like to go on a killing spree, but if you don't grab flags, you got about 2 minutes and this game's over. Did that dude quit? Because I ain't seen him back. Where's my big dog friend? I need to run you off, buddy. What do we got over there? Sneaking around on the backside. You sneak around over there, I don't mind. You go kill the rest of my team off. I seriously won't care that much. I'm going to be back over here grabbing your flag until I see an arrow drop. Now, this is the other thing, too. I'm in their backfield. And one of them is going to die pretty soon, and that person is going to come landing on my head. So I don't want to use any jumps. You might be wanting to incline to jump in here and do some stuff, but you see how you just figured out where I'm at? Notice I'm right next to this hill. I'm going to stay real close to this. I got to stay on this thing until I'm caught. But then I go this way instead of the other way, because the closer I get, the more damage I do. Plus, I don't want to be over there when he comes flying back in here, which he is doing now. There we go. Now everybody's gone, and I can stand back here feeling good about myself. He's coming after me, isn't he? Where is he? I can't tell. I always like to be behind something when they pop in, and then sneak out. So he's got to stay there now while he grabs that flag, and I'm not grabbing it. Also, try and only take on one person at a time. Try not to take on multiple robots. Multiple robots will make short work of you. Also, stand behind stuff and shoot at people instead of taking their damage while they're just shooting at you. I'm not doing him a lot of damage here, but if that was a human, he'd go back behind cover if he was smart. And I'm guessing it's just not a human. If he gets close enough, you'll see this torch kick in. I'm not sure what the torch's range is, so we're going to find out. If he lasts that long, which he didn't. Alright, one left. Usually don't mess with the last guy. I'll go stand on a rock somewhere like a good crow should. Get up there. Actually, my favorite place to hang out in this one. I'll see if I can get there before this guy dies out. I won't shoot at him. The only way you can be in a jumper like this with automatic shooting weapons and jump and not do damage is to not have the person in your field of view. Had he been anywhere in my field of view when I jumped, and my weapons got a line of sight on him, they would have fired automatically. So there's some other thing. Some weapons fire automatically as long as they're capable of doing so. Other weapons do not. The weapons that don't are generally the missiles. This guy's an AI. What am I worried about? Only AI gets stuck. And I just have more fun going over there since I know it's just AI. Actually, I'm going to land in my favorite spot. We'll see what happens. If I can get to my favorite spot, there we go. You can actually jump up on this, and I'm pretty good about jumping up here in the match and finishing things off. That's why I like being on the other side, though, because this thing's positioned well for taking out the bots coming down on the side I was on. Anyway, that's enough for one night. We are definitely at 32 minutes. So who wants to watch more than a half hour of me yammering on about whatever? Anyway, that's enough for today. Crowbot out.